Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. Sam and Doug get to work on the front brakes for the 57 Thunderbird. The new large brakes are a perfect match for the upgraded suspension. While under the wheel wells, the guys install the grease fittings and lube up the chassis for a smooth ride.
Doug and I are at the point with our Thunderbird where we're going to be installing the whole front brake system. If you remember back at Hempsaw, we sort of just mocked up the rotor so we could have something to roll with. And now we're going to finalize it by actually greasing up the bearings, showing you guys how to properly do that and install them. But you know what, before we do that, I want to show you guys something. This is a perfect opportunity to show you what caster is on your alignment. You can clearly see the relationship of the upper ball joint to the lower ball joint. How the upper ball joint is behind the lower ball joint. That's going to give you negative caster. When you're straight up and down, you start to go to zero. Then when you go the opposite way, which is backwards, wrong, you never want negative caster. Why that's important is because caster is what gives you stability, especially at speed when you're going down the road. If you guys remember when you had a bicycle back in the day and you turn the handlebars around and the wheel was further towards the frame, it was very hard to steer. But if you turn it back around to its normal position and the weight of the bike is on back of the wheel, then it's going to be a lot more stable, especially at high speed.
Yeah, it really is too, Sam. And they do the awful lot of that on race cars. You want to make sure that you've got a lot of stability, and it's the caster that gives you that stability inside of your steering. So just take a little bit of grease, and I'm going to take this right here, and if you take this and I start to put it in, what it's going to do, it'll start pushing all of the grease all the way through the bearing. This way, everything gets greased extremely well. It puts everything where the needle bearings are, and you never have to worry about it.
So what we're going to do now is very important. The grease fittings, these are all brand new components. We were mocking everything up in Oklahoma at Hempsaw. Now we're going to go through and put in all our grease fittings so we can grease all the joints. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten all the hardware, including the nuts that hold the spindles on, and put our cotter pins in place.
We're just getting ready to go ahead and grease the zerks. We just finished putting the zerks in the upper and the lower control arms, as well as the tie rods. And now I'm going to go ahead and pump it with some grease. But you always want to be careful when you're doing that. You don't pump so much in that you'll blow the seals out. Sam, one of the interesting things as I'm greasing this, back in the day when I was a young man and you went to a service station, they actually serviced the cars. You didn't just pump your own gas, they serviced it. So the older cars had to be greased all the times because of the way they put them together.
Like a truck.
Like a truck, yeah.
Right.
They didn't have the exact same type of bearings and bushings and stuff that we have today. So everything always had to be greased. So the guy that was working on your car was called a grease monkey, because once again, it's exactly what I was doing. You brought your car in, he serviced it, they put it on a rack, they had the old racks that brought them up, and he greased the cars. That's how they got the name Grease Monkey.
That's weird, because when I hear monkey, I'm thinking someone in a monkey suit, or I'm thinking there's a monkey down there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out where the word monkey came from.
I have no idea, Sam.
But I like
They
it.
call them grease monkeys.
Hey, we're grease monkeys. It's fine.
Hey, it's all right. I don't mind.
Nothing wrong with being a grease monkey. Not bad, Doug. We got the front end completed. We got the cotter pins in place. We've tightened all the hardware. We've got our grease in the joints, grease in the bearings, ready to go.
Yeah, it looks great, Sam. I'm really tickled with the way it looks. The car's going to have a lot of power, and it looks like it's going to stop just great and steer as well. So it looks fantastic.
Absolutely. And those wheel wood calipers, what I like about them is that they're universal. They can go on any corner of the car. But when it comes to you guys bleeding the brakes, ignore the bottom bleeders. Never ever try to bleed your brakes with the bottom bleeder valves. Always go on top. Every time you open this, you're introducing air to the system. You'll have a mushy pedal, so don't forget that.
And what Sam's talking about is the air always rises. So if you bleed back here, you're still going to have an air pocket up here.
That's why we got a little bleeder valve right on top of Doug.
It works.